Later.
Larry, I think honestly a lot of people are watching our coverage today because of an 18-year-old young man, Alan Webb. 2 weeks out of high school in Virginia. I wonder if he really realizes the significance of what may happen to him here today.
Adrian, I think he does. At 18 years of age, he's a very well-balanced guy. He's improved dramatically since his freshman year of high school. And here at the Prefontaine Classic just over a month ago, he really shattered Jim Ryan's legendary record set in 1965 for the high school mile, running 3 minutes 53.43 seconds. An astounding performance. Few 18-year-olds in history have ever come close anywhere in the world, and the world in many ways is watching Hayward Field here today to see what Alan Webb will do and whether he can win a national championship.
This now becomes perhaps one of the most significant moments in American track and field since the Sydney Olympic Games. This, the men's 1,500-meter race presented by GMC Envoy. But Alan Webb is not the only man in this race, Larry.
There you see the graphics, and among the people in the race that I think are interesting and we should dwell on is perhaps Gabe Jennings. Jennings actually is, and there he is right now, and this guy's parents were from really the hippie generation. He lived in a log cabin in northwestern part of California for a while, and believe me, the apple did not fall far from the tree. He is a very talented guy, a 4:02 high school miler.
Quoting Gabe Jennings, I'm not going to lose to any high school kid.
Well, this man has strong feelings, too. These athletes have a lot of pride. This is a very talented young man, Bryan Berryhill, just out of Colorado State. And to make a long story short, this man likes to run from the front and has great closing speed as well. Let's see if he takes the lead.
That style allowed him to win the NCAA indoor mile and the 1,500 title as well. And there's the man of the hour. 2 weeks out of high school, Alan Webb.
And he likes to warm up to Everclear's one-hit wonder. We saw him a while ago doing that very same thing. And, you know, this is going to be a fabulous race. He has the fastest time for the mile by any American in the last 3 years, does Alan Webb.
His primary concern, the national championship here. Possibly an opportunity to win a world championship in August. Now, Alan Webb was born 18 years after Jim Ryan became the last high school miler to win the 1,500 at the U.S. Championships back in 1965.
Will the kid become the king? We'll know very soon. This man may have something to say about it. This is Gabe Jennings from Stanford University, who won the U.S. Olympic trials last year, and he has vowed that he's going to have something to say about this race. Someone else who might be a factor in the race is Bryan Berryhill, who only ran outdoors in high school, but has become an NCAA champion. He likes to lead.
Clean start. 11 men competing against Alan Webb, who has really owned the headlines as far as track and field is concerned throughout the spring and early summer.
We'll keep an eye on the pace for you, let you know the splits. Berryhill wearing the white, the yellow top, piping up top, and that's Paul McMullen on his outside, the big, tall countenance. No guy weighing his weight of over 188 pounds has ever run a sub-4-minute mile. McMullen has very good speed.
Bryan Berryhill in the early lead, then Paul McMullen. The national championship on the line. That's Alan Webb, 2 weeks out of high school, running last at this point, Larry.
Webb just comfortable. He did this at Prefontaine, stayed in the back of the pack and out of trouble. And they come by at about a 58-plus first 300 meters. We'll get you the first split. Watch the right-hand corner of your screen down there, and the 400 meters should show up.
Alan Webb running last at this point. He's the man in the spotlight. 2 weeks out of high school, a visit to the White House, 3 morning talk shows. Consider the pressure he might be under.
58.3 seconds for the first 400 meters. A good solid pace by Berryhill. McMullen stays in second, still trailing way back in the pack is Alan Webb. I think you'll see Gabe Jennings, who we talked about wearing, there he is in the middle of the pack, wearing the dark maroon colors in the very middle with a long flowing black hair. Beside him in the red colors, that is Kansas's colors, that's Charlie Gruber. A little confusing with the two of them there. But in the sunglasses, moving up a little bit, is Stanford's Olympian at 1,500 meters, Gabe Jennings.
Alan Webb running second to last at this point as we pull up toward the front of the field. That's Bryan Berryhill, 23 years of age, the NCAA indoor champion in this event. Paul McMullen running second at this point.
Laps to go as we approach the
What about Alan Webb, Larry? Is he going to make a move here? Is it too early to tell?
You know, he showed Adrian great speed in his semifinal qualifying. There he moves up. He blasted the last 200 meters, I think, shocked everybody with his raw speed. 1 minute, 57.8 seconds for the first 800 meters. Let me quickly tell you, they're running 1,500 meters. That is the metric mile equivalent. In the United States, we call it the mile. It is a little bit shy by about 119 yards of a full mile. So whatever the finishing time for the winner is, add 17 seconds approximately, and you got the mile time.
Bryan Berryhill in the lead. The man in red with the sunglasses is Gabe Jennings, both very defiant as far as Alan Webb is concerned, saying they're not going to lose to any high school kid. Here's your split. With 1 lap to go.
That is Gabe Jennings moving out.
And there's Alan Webb.
He is far back right now. He's got a lot of ground to cover. There are 4 men behind him.
Gabe Jennings out in front, age 22. There's Alan Webb. Now his signature move. He's looking for the national championship, possibly a spot on the world championship team, but at this point, it's Gabe Jennings out in front with half a lap to go.
1,200 meters in 2 minutes, 55 seconds, well under 4-minute pace. Jennings with the lead. And there's Webb at the right part of your screen, trying to make up a lot of ground here. Berryhill closing in on him.
Jennings.
20 meters to go, Adrian.
It's going to be Jennings. Berryhill pushing as hard as he can. Alan Webb about halfway back in the pack. Gabe Jennings is going to come through on his defiant attitude, but he's being pushed at the line. Seneca Lassiter is pushing hard.
That is almost a photo finish for the victory. And there you see it, Andy Downin coming up at the last minute that you saw it just sweep up and shock everybody. 3 minutes, 37.63 seconds for Andy Downin in the victory, and that would have been about 100-to-1 guess that he would win if this was a horse race. Andy Downin, a top talent, but a big surprise here, and back in the pack a little bit, unable to use the speed he showed 2 days ago, was Alan Webb. There you see coming down. It looks like it's going to be Gabe Jennings, Seneca Lassiter in blue closest to him. And now moving up on the 3rd lane is Andy Downin to take the victory, and a big surprise. Paul Mullen gets up and might wind up in 3rd place.
Alan Webb, 5th place overall after 1,500 meters. A signature event decided in the final inches. There's Alan Webb.
You know, fatigue in life can defeat the best intentions. This is his 4th hard race in 8 days. 2 of them last weekend, a 4:01 mile, a 4:02 equivalent here 2 days ago, and winds up here finishing in 5th.
3 minutes, 37.63 seconds. Andy Downer, the winner in the men's 1,500 meters. Back here in Eugene, Oregon, these are the final 35 meters of the men's 1,500.
And there you see, moving up on the outside of Gabe Jennings is Seneca Lassiter, but whipping him at the finish line is Andy Downin. Paul McMullen getting up for 3rd place. McMullen training for the last couple of months at the University of Michigan. And there is Alan Webb. Despite being back in the pack, so to speak, and winding up in 5th place, this young man ran the 2nd fastest 1,500 meters in history with this performance today. It works out to about a 3:55 mile. He's got everything in the world to be proud of after terrific performances and a very hectic last month.
Dwight Stone's considered the pressures of a young man and perhaps the most significant month he's ever had in his entire life. How's he feeling?
All right, Adrian, thank you. Alan, 3 weeks ago, 3:38.5 would have been a huge, huge improvement and a huge, huge breakthrough for you. 5th place in this race. What are your feelings about how this race went for you and your time eventually?
Just disappointing. I wanted to do better than I did today. I always strive to win the race, and it just wasn't my day. You know, those guys ran great. It just wasn't my day. Nothing I can do about it.
Seemed like you were following the game plan fine. Your split seemed to be okay, and then you made a move on the backstretch. What happened then?
I tied up a little bit in the last 400 meters. I needed to run really fast last lap, but you know, what can I do? It just wasn't my day. I can't say anything more.
Well, one of the things you've inspired everybody else in this field. You should be proud of that. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Dwight, coaches across America say there is so much room for improvement for this man who runs the 400 meters in 47 seconds.
In the last 7 days, he's run the equivalent of almost 3 4-minute miles.
Biggest surprise today here at the National Championships, Hayward Field, Eugene, Oregon, I think came in the men's 1,500-meter run earlier in the day. Not so much that Alan Webb, with all that pressure of an 18-year-old has been through the past month, didn't win the race. It's the fact that Andy Downin did, surprised even himself and everyone else here. Dwight Stones is with our winner.
Andy, it was one of those things where there's so much swirling around, so many different people in the race that you were able to concentrate on only what you needed to do.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much going in, our plan was block everything out. I mean, we knew Berryhill was going to take it, so we just said, find Berryhill, get on his butt, and go with him, you know, treat it like a time trial. And I knew, I have the speed at the end. It's just in the past, the last few times I've been here, I've been 15 meters back of everybody, so I've just been so far out of it. So I said, put myself in it with 200 to go, and we'll see what happens, you know. So it was just a great experience. I mean, with 200 to go, I'm like, all right, this is it. This is what we've done. This is what we worked for. So just go for it.
The man in the white and blue singlet, Alan Webb, just had too much ground to make up on the leaders with 200 meters to go. This caps an amazing string of 4 hard races in 8 days, 2 last weekend, including a 4:01 mile, a 4:02 metric mile 2 days ago to get to this final, and then running the second fastest 1,500 meters in high school history, the equivalent of a 3:56 mile, to wind up 5th. The top 3 finishers here need to run at least 3 minutes 36.2 seconds for 1,500 meters before July 23rd, or the trip to the World Championships will be opened up to other finalists who have made that time.